We are not defined by the chances we take, but by the choices we make. Family, I want you to let that settle in your spirit for a moment, because life isn't some lottery ticket where you just hope the winning number is yours. No, life is built brick by brick, decision by decision, choice by choice. Some people wake up each morning and leave their life to chance, hoping for a miracle, waiting for luck, praying that something changes, but never choosing to change themselves. And then they wonder why they're still stuck in the same cycle year after year. Let me share a story with you. Years ago, I met a man after one of my speeches. His eyes were filled with pain. He said, Mr. Brown, I've wasted so many years. I took wrong turns, wrong friends, wrong habits. And now I feel like I'm too far gone. And I told him something I want you to remember tonight. If choices got you into this place, then choices can get you out. You don't have to stay where you are. You can build a new life, one choice at a time. That's why tonight we're going to walk through a journey together. 9 powerful choices that will shape your destiny if you dare to make them. And the first one, the foundation of all the rest, is this: the choice to believe in yourself. The first and most critical choice is to believe in yourself. Now, I know that sounds simple, but let me tell you, for years I was labeled adjudicably mentally retarded. I was told I was slow. Teachers, classmates, even neighbors, they all had their definition of me. And for a long time, I wore those labels like a heavy coat. I believed their words more than my own possibilities. But then one day, a teacher looked me in the eyes and said something that shook me to my core. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That was the moment I realized I had a choice. I could continue to live chained by other people's opinions, or I could believe in myself. Believing in yourself is not arrogance. It's not pride. It's permission. Permission to rise. Permission to dream. Permission to step into the life that was already waiting for you. Let me ask you a question. How many dreams have died because someone didn't believe in themselves? How many songs were never sung, books never written, businesses never started, not because the dreamer lacked talent, but because they lacked belief? See, every morning when you wake up, you're standing at a crossroads. One path is doubt, the other is belief, and every day your choice determines the direction of your destiny. Belief is a seed, and like any seed, if you nurture it with action, it grows. But if you starve it with fear, it dies. Now, I'm not saying that believing in yourself makes the struggle disappear. No, life will still test you. People will still doubt you. Failure will still knock on your door. But here's the difference. When you believe in yourself, you stop letting failure define you. You start seeing failure as feedback, as fuel. When I first started speaking, I was nervous, stuttering, sweating. People laughed at me. They said, Luz, you'll never make it. But I had to choose believe their laughter or believe my voice. And every time I chose to believe, I grew stronger. Family, listen. Nobody's coming to hand you belief. You've got to claim it. You've got to stand in front of the mirror and say, I am more than my past. I am more than my mistakes. I am more than what they said I could be. Because here's the truth. Your belief is the engine. Your choices are the steering wheel. And your destiny is the road. If you don't believe in yourself, you'll never have the courage to take the wheel. You'll sit in the passenger seat of your own life, letting fear drive. But when you make the choice to believe in yourself, you grab that wheel. You say, this is my life, my future, my dream, and I will not let it slip away. So today, right here, right now, I want you to make that choice. Don't wait for approval. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect timing. Look at yourself and declare, I believe. I believe in my dream. I believe in my ability. I believe in my future. Because once you make that choice, every other choice becomes possible. The choice to take responsibility, if believing in yourself is the foundation, then the next choice you must make is the choice to take responsibility for your life. And let me tell you, this is one of the hardest choices you'll ever make, because it forces you to look in the mirror and admit the truth. Where I am today is not just because of what life has done to me, but because of the choices I have made. That's not easy to accept. It's easier to blame our parents, blame the system, blame the economy, blame the circumstances. It's easier to point outward than to look inward. But family, let me tell you something I've learned the hard way. When you blame, you give away your power. When you say, I am this way because of them, what you're really saying is, they still control me. And as long as someone else controls the pen that writes your story, you will never truly be free. I remember being at a low point in my life, broke, discouraged, unsure of how I would survive. And it would have been so easy to say, it's because of my background. It's because of what I didn't have. It's because of how I was labeled. But something inside me said, Les, if you keep blaming the world, you'll keep staying where you are. The moment you take responsibility, the moment you decide, I will no longer be a victim of my past, I will become the author of my future. Everything changes. Responsibility doesn't mean that what happened to you was your fault. No, some of you have endured things no one should ever go through. Pain, betrayal, loss, injustice. Life is not fair. And I would never stand here and tell you that the pain you've experienced was your fault. But here is the truth. Even if it wasn't your fault, it is still your responsibility to heal, to grow, to rise. Because no one else can do that for you. Responsibility is not about fault. It's about ownership. It's about saying, this is my life. These are my choices. And I will not let the pain of yesterday steal the power of tomorrow. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for rescue. You stop waiting for someone to show up with the magic answer. You stop living like a passenger and you start living like a driver. And suddenly, opportunities that you never saw before begin to appear. Why? Because responsibility sharpens your vision. Responsibility gives you clarity. Responsibility puts the pen back in your hands. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Where have you been avoiding responsibility? Maybe it's your health. You've been waiting for the perfect diet, the perfect gym, the perfect time. Instead of saying, I'm responsible for my body and I will do something about it today. Maybe it's your finances. You've been blaming the job, blaming the market, blaming the lack of opportunity, instead of saying, I'm responsible for how I manage my money, for how I create new income, for how I shape my financial future. Or maybe it's your relationships. You've been waiting for someone else to change, someone else to grow, someone else to apologize, instead of asking, what can I take responsibility for in how I love, how I forgive, how I communicate? See, when you avoid responsibility, you stay stuck. But when you embrace responsibility, you unlock possibility. Responsibility doesn't weigh you down. It lifts you up because it gives you the power to choose differently, to act differently, to live differently. One of the most liberating days of my life was when I stood up and said, I am responsible, not my teacher, not my boss, not my past, not my pain, me. I am responsible. And family, that day, my life began to change. I stopped waiting for things to get easier. I stopped waiting for someone to rescue me. I stopped waiting for the stars to align. I started moving, I started building, I started choosing. And every choice built momentum. Every choice built strength. Every choice built a new future. you can do the same. Right now, you can make a choice to take back your power. Stop blaming. Stop complaining. Stop waiting. Say to yourself, this is my life. I am responsible for how it turns out. And from this day forward, I will make choices that honor my future. Because when you take responsibility, you break the chains of victimhood. When you take responsibility, you step into freedom. And when you take responsibility, you give yourself the gift of change. The choice to dream boldly. There comes a point in life where responsibility is not enough. You can believe in yourself, you can take ownership of your choices, but if you don't have a vision to aim for, you'll find yourself working hard in circles, busy, but not fulfilled, active, but not advancing. That's why the next powerful choice you must make is the choice to dream boldly. And when I say boldly, I mean the kind of dreams that scare you, the kind of dreams that stretch you, the kind of dreams that make other people laugh because they can't see what you see. Family, let me tell you something. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. They settle for average. They settle for just enough. They settle for what society says is realistic. And then they wonder why they feel empty. But deep down, every one of us was created with a dream, a vision, a possibility that is bigger than where we are right now. You know it, you feel it. Sometimes it wakes you up at night. Sometimes it whispers to you in the quiet moments when no one else is around. And here's the truth, that dream is not an accident. That dream is your calling. That dream is your destiny trying to get your attention. I remember when I first told people I wanted to be a motivational speaker. Oh, they laughed at me. They said, Luz, you can't do that. You've got no college education. You've been labeled slow. You don't have the voice. You don't have the background. You don't have the credentials. And for a while, I almost believed them. But then I made a choice. I chose to dream anyway. I chose to dream boldly. And that dream pulled me out of the places I was stuck. That dream became my compass. That dream gave me the courage to keep moving forward, even when doors were slammed in my face. Dreaming boldly is dangerous. Dangerous to your comfort zone. Dangerous to your excuses. Dangerous to the small version of yourself that you've been living with. Because when you start dreaming boldly, you can't stay the same. You start to realize that the life you've been living is too small for the greatness that's inside you. And that realization will shake you. It will challenge you. But it will also wake you up. I want you to imagine a child. You ask a child what they want to be, and they'll tell you with excitement, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a singer. I want to be a superhero. They don't filter their dreams through fear. They don't shrink their dreams to fit what's practical. They speak from imagination, from possibility. But somewhere along the way, life teaches us to shrink, to doubt, to only dream what seems safe. And we trade imagination for limitation. But hear me tonight, you've got to get that childlike faith back. You've got to dare to dream without apology. You've got to give yourself permission to want something bigger than what you've known. Now, don't confuse bold dreams with daydreams. A bold dream is not about escaping reality. It's about transforming reality. A bold dream doesn't just live in your head. It moves your feet. It fuels your actions. It makes you wake up earlier, stay up later, and push harder than you ever thought possible. A bold dream gives you a reason to fight when life knocks you down, a reason to keep going when people say you're crazy, a reason to stand tall even when the odds are stacked against you. Think about some of the greatest people who ever lived. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. Steve Jobs had a dream. Malala Yousafzai had a dream. and they dared to dream boldly enough to change the world. If they had settled for safe, if they had chosen what was comfortable, none of us would have seen the impact of their vision. And if it's true for them, it's true for you. There's something inside you that the world needs, and it won't come out until you dare to dream boldly. Family, don't let fear talk you out of your future. Don't let other people's opinions become the ceiling of your imagination. Don't let yesterday's failures define tomorrow's vision. Right now, make a choice. Choose to dream big. Choose to dream beyond your paycheck, beyond your neighborhood, beyond your current reality. Choose to dream so boldly that it makes your heart race, that it makes you nervous, that it makes you ask, how in the world can I do this? Because that's when you know you're on the right track. And here's the secret. When you dream boldly, you awaken forces greater than yourself. You start to attract opportunities, mentors, and resources you never would have met if you stayed in the small lane of safe living. When you dream boldly, you give your life direction. You give your choices meaning. You give your struggles purpose. So tonight, I'm asking you, don't shrink. Don't settle. Don't silence that voice inside you that says, I was made for more. Stand up, look yourself in the eye, and make the choice. I will dream boldly. I will not live small. I will not play safe. I will honor the vision that was planted inside me. Because bold dreams build bold lives. And if you dare to dream, you will discover that you already have the courage, the strength, and the potential to make that dream real. The choice to embrace struggle. Family, let me tell you the truth that many people don't want to hear. Success is not built in comfort, it's built in struggle. Every dream, every achievement, every victory you see celebrated on the stage was forged behind the curtain of pain, setbacks, rejection, and hard nights. That's why one of the most powerful choices you will ever make is the choice to embrace struggle. Not run from it, not complain about it, not use it as a reason to quit, but embrace it, own it, and allow it to shape you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. When I was starting out as a speaker, I struggled. I struggled to find my voice. I struggled to find opportunities. I struggled to pay bills. And every step of the way, there was a part of me that wanted to give up. That whispered, Les, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this is too hard. But the truth is, struggle is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're growing. And growth always comes with pain. Think about a seed breaking through the soil. That's struggle. Think about muscles building strength under resistance. That's struggle. Think about a butterfly fighting its way out of the cocoon. That's struggle. But without that struggle, the seed never becomes a tree, the muscle never becomes strong, the butterfly never learns to fly. Struggle is not your enemy. Struggle is your trainer. It's shaping you, conditioning you, preparing you for the weight of your destiny. Too many people waste their struggle. They see hardship and they curse it. They see failure and they stop. They see rejection and they retreat. But those who win in life are the ones who look at their struggles and say, this is teaching me something. This is shaping me. This is preparing me. Because every struggle carries within it a lesson. And those lessons become the tools you will one day use to build your dream. Let me ask you, what has been your greatest struggle? Maybe it's poverty, maybe it's loss, maybe it's rejection, abandonment, or betrayal. Whatever it is, I want you to understand this. Your greatest struggle can become your greatest strength if you embrace it instead of resenting it. Some of the most powerful people you will ever meet are not the ones who had it easy, but the ones who fought their way through the fire and came out refined, resilient, and unstoppable. I think about Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. People laughed at him, mocked him, called him foolish. But he said, I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. He embraced the struggle. And because he did, we all live in a world illuminated by his persistence. I think about Oprah Winfrey, who grew up in poverty, faced abuse, rejection, and countless setbacks. She had every reason to give up, every excuse to surrender. But she chose to embrace the struggle, to let it mold her instead of destroy her. And today, she's one of the most influential voices on the planet. And I think about my own mother. She worked tirelessly to raise us, to put food on the table, to hold the family together. She struggled every single day. And as a young boy, I used to resent that struggle. I didn't understand it, but looking back now, I see it clearly. Her struggle was the foundation of my strength. Her struggle became my inspiration. So family, here's what I want you to know. The struggle you're facing right now is not here to break you, it's here to build you. The pain you're enduring is not punishment, it's preparation. The obstacles you're fighting are not dead ends, they are detours, guiding you to the person you're meant to become. But you have to make a choice. You have to choose to stop running from struggle and start embracing it. You have to stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? What strength is this building in me? What door will this open for me? Because if you run from struggle, you run from growth. If you hide from struggle, you hide from strength. If you avoid struggle, you avoid the destiny that was meant for you. So tonight, I want you to reframe how you see your struggles. Don't see them as barriers, see them as builders. Don't see them as curses, see them as classrooms. Don't see them as reasons to quit, see them as reasons to rise. And when life knocks you down, don't stay down. Look at that struggle and declare, you will not defeat me. You will define me. Because the truth is, greatness is not born in ease. It's forged in struggle. And if you choose to embrace your struggle, you will discover that what once felt like your greatest burden has become your greatest blessing. The choice to cultivate courage, family. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. Every dream you've heard whispering inside you, every bold vision you've dared to imagine, every change you know you need to make, it will all mean nothing unless you cultivate the courage to act. Courage is not the absence of fear. No, courage is the decision to move forward in spite of fear. And the choice to cultivate courage is one of the most important choices you will ever make. Fear will talk to you every single day. Fear will whisper, you're not ready, you're not qualified. You'll embarrass yourself. What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? And if you listen to that voice long enough, you'll spend your life paralyzed. You'll die with your music still inside you, never knowing what could have been. But courage speaks louder than fear. Courage says, yes, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm uncertain. Yes, the path is risky, but I will do it anyway. I remember when I first stood up to speak in front of an audience. My palms were sweating, my voice was shaking. My knees felt like they were going to buckle. Part of me wanted to run out of that room and never come back. But another part of me, a stronger part, said, Luz, if you run now, you'll be running for the rest of your life. Stand here. Push through. Do it afraid. And family, that moment changed me forever. Because courage grows every time you choose to face fear instead of flee from it. Here's what I've learned: courage is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first time you step out, you may tremble. The first time you take a risk, you may stumble. But the more you choose courage, the easier it becomes to silence fear. And eventually, what once terrified you will become second nature. But you must choose courage. Because the default is always fear. Fear is comfortable. Fear is familiar. Fear will give you 100 reasons to stay where you are. But courage requires a choice. Courage requires you to step into the unknown, to do what others won't, to risk looking foolish, to risk failing. But let me promise you this, courage always pays off. Even if you fail, the courage you gain will be worth more than the failure you endured. Think about all the people in history who changed the world. Rosa Parks had the courage to say, "I will not move." Nelson Mandela had the courage to fight for freedom, even when it meant decades in prison. Malala had the courage to speak up for education, even when her life was threatened. None of them were fearless, but all of them were courageous. And that courage didn't just change their lives, it changed the world. So let me ask you, what dream of yours is waiting on your courage? What step have you been delaying because fear keeps whispering in your ear? Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's leaving a toxic environment. Maybe it's writing that book, launching that project, speaking your truth. Whatever it is, understand this, it won't wait forever. Your dream is waiting for you to choose courage. And the longer you delay, the quieter that dream becomes. Courage is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. Every day you wake up, you have to choose it again. Courage to speak up when it would be easier to stay silent. Courage to keep going when it would be easier to quit. Courage to stand alone when it would be easier to blend in. Courage to live your truth when it would be easier to live a lie. And every time you choose courage, you strengthen your spirit, you expand your capacity, you take another step toward the life you were meant to live. Now hear me on this. Courage doesn't eliminate fear, it transforms it. Courage doesn't make the storm disappear. It teaches you how to sail through it. Courage doesn't guarantee you won't fall. It guarantees you'll rise when you do. And here's the beautiful thing. When you live with courage, you don't just inspire yourself, you inspire others. People are watching you. People are learning from you. And when they see you face your fears, it gives them permission to face theirs. Family, I want you to make a decision right here, right now. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. And now is the time to choose courage. Say to yourself, I will not let fear be my master. I will not let doubt dictate my destiny. I will live with courage. I will act with courage. I will build my life with courage. Because when you cultivate courage, you unlock doors that fear has kept shut. When you cultivate courage, you rise above the limits of the past. When you cultivate courage, you become unstoppable. And the world will never forget a person who chose courage over fear. The choice to develop resilience life will not always go as planned. You will get knocked down. You will face disappointments, heartbreaks, and losses that will make you question everything. But the difference between those who stay down and those who rise higher is a single choice. The choice to develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to fall without staying down, to hurt without giving up. It's the spirit inside of you that says, yes, this is hard. Yes, this hurts, but I will not let this defeat me. I will rise again. Family, let me be real with you. There were times in my life when I thought I was finished. Times when I stood in front of opportunities and was rejected, not once, not twice, but over and over again. Times when I couldn't see a way forward. Times when I wanted to throw in the towel. But every time I was tempted to quit, I remembered that as long as I had breath in my body, I had a chance to try again. That's resilience, not perfection, not never failing, but refusing to surrender. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time life knocks you down and you get back up, you are building resilience. Every time someone tells you no and you keep moving forward, you are building resilience. Every time your plan falls apart and you dare to create a new one, you are building resilience. And the stronger your resilience, the harder it is for life to break you. Think about the stories of the most successful people in the world. They are not stories of smooth sailing. They are stories of storms. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine if he had said, "Well, I guess I'm not good enough," and quit right there. We would never have known the legend he became. J.K. Rowling, before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, was rejected by more than a dozen publishers. Imagine if she had let that rejection define her. We would never have known the magic her words brought to millions. What do these stories tell us? They tell us that resilience is the bridge between failure and success. Without resilience, failure is final. But with resilience, failure is only feedback. It becomes part of the process that prepares you for victory. And let me tell you something else. Resilience is not just about big, dramatic moments. It's also about the daily grind. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is applauding. It's about enduring the quiet seasons when it looks like nothing is happening. But deep inside, you are being stretched, strengthened, prepared. Resilience is what keeps you moving when the results are slow. Resilience is what keeps your faith alive when your prayers seem unanswered. Resilience is what keeps you steady when the storms keep coming. But here's the key. You must choose it. You must decide that no matter what life throws at you, you will not give up. You must decide that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise one more time. You must decide that your dream, your purpose, your destiny is too important to abandon that choice. To keep moving, to keep fighting, to keep believing is resilience in action. Some of you are going through storms right now. You've been knocked down. You've been rejected. You've been hurt. And maybe you feel like giving up. But I want you to hear me. This is not the end. This is your test. This is your training ground. This is where you discover just how strong you really are. Don't waste your pain. Don't let this moment break you. Use it. Learn from it. Rise through it. Because on the other side of resilience is transformation. Family, I've learned that resilience is like a rubber band. Life will stretch you, sometimes to the point where you feel like you can't take it anymore. But resilience is what allows you to stretch without snapping, to endure without losing hope, to be pulled in directions you never expected, but still return stronger than before. And every stretch, every test, every struggle is expanding your capacity for what's coming next. So I challenge you tonight, make the choice to be resilient. Decide that nothing will make you quit. Decide that no matter how heavy the load, you will carry it until you find your breakthrough. Decide that you will not let hardship define your story. You will let resilience write the next chapter. Because the truth is, storms will come. But if you develop resilience, the storm will not destroy you. It will grow you. It will refine you. It will elevate you. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the very struggles you thought would break you became the struggles that built you. The choice to master your mindset, family. Listen to me. Your mind is the battlefield where victories are won or lost long before you ever step into the world. What you allow to live in your head will eventually shape what you live in your life. That's why one of the most powerful choices you will ever make is the choice to master your mindset. Because if you don't master your mind will master you. Here's the truth: life is going to throw challenges, setbacks, and disappointments your way. The question isn't whether trouble will come. The question is, what will you do with it when it arrives? If your mindset is weak, the smallest obstacle will knock you off track. But if your mindset is strong, no storm, no rejection, no failure can keep you down. I remember when I was first starting out as a speaker, people laughed at me. They told me I wasn't good enough, that no one wanted to hear me speak, that I didn't have what it takes. And I'll be honest with you, if I had let their voices echo louder in my mind than my own belief, I would not be standing here today. But I made a choice. I chose to master my mindset. I chose to feed my mind with words of encouragement, with stories of those who overcame, with visions of what was possible, instead of the fear of what might go wrong. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, negativity, fear, and limitation, don't be surprised when your life is filled with weeds. But if you plant seeds of faith, hope, courage, and possibility, your life will produce a harvest of abundance. That's why you must guard your mind every single day. Pay attention to the conversations you allow in, the media you consume, the voices you entertain, because everything you expose your mind to is either strengthening you or weakening you. Let me ask you, how do you talk to yourself? Because self-talk is powerful. Too many people spend their whole lives telling themselves, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it. And guess what? The mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. But if you begin to say, I can, I am capable, I will, I must, I'm built for this, your mind will start to shift and your life will begin to follow. That's mastering your mindset. Not ignoring reality, but choosing to see beyond it. Not pretending challenges don't exist, but choosing to believe you can overcome them. I think about athletes. Before they ever step onto the field, they visualize the game. They see themselves winning, running the plays, making the shots. Why? Because they know the body will follow where the mind has already gone. The same is true in your life. If you see yourself failing, you'll hesitate. If you see yourself losing, you'll hold back. But if you see yourself winning, if you see yourself rising, if you see yourself victorious, your actions will align with that vision. But mastering your mindset isn't just about positivity. It's also about discipline. It's about training your thoughts the way you would train a muscle. When negative thoughts come, and they will, you don't let them run wild. You capture them. You replace them. You remind yourself, this thought does not serve me. I choose a better one. And at first, it won't be easy. But just like going to the gym, the more you do it, the stronger your mental muscle becomes. And let me tell you something else. Your mindset determines your resilience, your courage, your persistence. If your mind believes there's no way forward, your body won't even try. But if your mind says, there's a way, I'll find it, then nothing can stop you. That's why mastering your mindset is not optional. It's essential. It's the foundation of every other choice you make. Some of you right now are stuck not because you lack talent, not because you lack opportunity, but because you haven't chosen to master your mindset. You've allowed fear to rent space in your head. You've allowed doubt to build a home there. You've allowed negativity to become your daily soundtrack. But hear me tonight, you don't have to stay that way. You can evict those thoughts. You can reclaim your mental real estate. You can decide that from this day forward, your mind will be a place of faith, vision, strength, and determination. So family, I challenge you, make the choice. Choose to master your mindset. Choose to feed your faith, not your fears. Choose to see possibility, not limitation. Choose to believe in victory, not defeat. Because when you master your mindset, you master your future. The world outside may be chaotic, unpredictable, full of storms. But if the world inside you is steady, strong, and full of faith, nothing outside can destroy you. You will rise. You will endure. You will conquer. And it all begins in the mind. The choice to take consistent action. Dreams without action are only wishes. Ideas without action are only fantasies. No matter how big your vision, no matter how strong your faith, no matter how powerful your mindset, if you do not take consistent action, nothing changes. You can pray, you can hope, you can visualize, but at some point, you must roll up your sleeves and do the work. Action is the bridge between the life you imagine and the life you live. When I first started speaking, I wasn't getting big stages or packed arenas. No one was calling me for conferences. I was standing on street corners, talking to anyone who would listen. I was going into classrooms with 5 or 10 kids, pouring my heart out. I was doing free events, empty chairs in the room, giving everything I had as if it was 1,000 people. Why? Because I knew that consistent action builds momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. If I had waited until the perfect opportunity showed up, I'd still be waiting today. Consistency is the secret that most people miss. Everybody gets excited in the beginning. Everyone feels motivated when they start. But it's not the ones who start with excitement who win. It's the ones who keep showing up long after the excitement fades. It's the ones who keep pushing when nobody claps, who keep grinding when nobody notices, who keep sowing seeds even when the soil looks dry. Because eventually, consistency breaks resistance. I meet people all the time who say, Les, I want to be successful. I want to live my dream. And my first question is, what are you doing daily to make it real? Because it's not what you do occasionally that shapes your life. It's what you do consistently. Small choices, repeated daily, become habits. Habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. That's the power of consistent action. Think about a sculptor. He doesn't create a masterpiece with one strike of the hammer. He chisels day after day, strike after strike, piece by piece. From the outside, it looks slow, it looks repetitive, it looks ordinary. But over time, that persistence shapes stone into art. And that's exactly how life works. Your dream will not appear overnight. It will be carved out of your daily actions, your daily sacrifices, your daily commitment to keep going. But here's the truth. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it feels boring. Sometimes it feels invisible. Sometimes you wonder if it's even working. But what you don't see is that every small step is building momentum. Every action is stacking. Every repetition is preparing you for a breakthrough. And one day, what seemed invisible will become undeniable. Too many people quit right before the harvest. They plant seeds, but when they don't see results right away, they give up. They walk away from the field, not knowing that their breakthrough was just a little further down the road. But those who win are the ones who choose to keep planting, keep watering, keep working, even when there are no immediate results, because they trust that consistent action will eventually bring consistent reward. Now let me be real. Taking consistent action is not about perfection. You don't have to get it right every single day. You just have to stay in motion. Even if you stumble, even if you fail, even if you fall short, get back up and keep moving. The greatest power of action is that it creates progress, and progress, no matter how small, builds confidence. And when you build confidence, you build courage. Family, the difference between dreamers and doers is simple. Doers act. Doers try. Doers fail forward. Doers take risks. Doers put themselves in uncomfortable positions. Doers understand that action is the price of admission to success. You can't buy your way into your dream. You can't wish your way into it. You must act your way into it. So I challenge you, don't just talk about your dream, work for it. Don't just imagine the life you want, build it. Don't just pray for opportunities, prepare for them with action. Because consistent action opens doors that talent alone can't open. Consistent action turns faith into results and dreams into reality. Your future is waiting. Your destiny is waiting. But it's waiting on your action. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start and then keep going. Step by step, day by day, choice by choice. Because when you choose consistent action, you choose progress. And when you choose progress, you choose growth. And when you choose growth, you choose a future beyond anything you've ever imagined. The choice to live with purpose, family, hear me, on this life is not just about surviving. It's not just about making money, paying bills, or getting by day to day. Life is about purpose. Purpose is what gives your struggle meaning. Purpose is what makes your sacrifices worth it. Purpose is what gets you out of bed in the morning when everything in you wants to stay down. And one of the greatest choices you will ever make is the choice to live with purpose. You see, there are people walking around every single day who look alive on the outside, but are dead on the inside. They have no spark, no drive, no vision, because they haven't connected with their purpose. They're existing, but they're not truly living. And I believe one of the most tragic things in life is not death, but to live without ever knowing why you were here in the first place. When you live without purpose, you drift. You let life push you in whatever direction the wind blows. You settle for less than you deserve because you don't even know what you're aiming for. But when you discover your purpose, when you decide to live intentionally, everything changes. Purpose gives you focus. Purpose gives you passion. Purpose gives you resilience. Purpose gives you a reason to keep going when nothing else makes sense. My own life was transformed the moment I decided to live for something bigger than myself. I didn't become a speaker just to have a career. I became a speaker because I wanted to inspire people, to help them see what's possible, to remind them that they have greatness within them. And every time I step on a stage, every time I open my mouth, I know I am walking in my purpose. That's why no rejection, no failure, no disappointment could make me quit. Because purpose kept me anchored. And that's the thing about purpose. It's not about fame, it's not about titles, it's not about money. It's about impact. It's about contribution. It's about asking yourself, how can my life make a difference? How can my story, my gifts, my struggles, my victories help someone else? Because when you live with purpose, you stop living just for yourself. You start living to serve, to uplift, to add value. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't risk his life for comfort or convenience. He risked his life for purpose, for a dream bigger than himself. Think about Mother Teresa. She didn't dedicate her life to serving the poor because it was easy. She did it because it was her purpose. Purpose is what gives ordinary people the strength to do extraordinary things. But here's what I need you to understand. Purpose is not something you stumble upon once in your life and then it's done. Purpose is something you choose daily. Every morning you wake up, you decide, will I live for something bigger than myself today? Will I live with intention? Will I live in alignment with my values, my calling, my vision? That choice is what separates a life of meaning from a life of regret. Now, some of you may be thinking, Liz, I don't know my purpose. And that's okay. Purpose isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's discovered in your passions, sometimes in your pain. Sometimes it's revealed through service, through trial, through struggle. But I promise you this, if you choose to seek it, if you choose to listen, if you choose to take steps forward even when it's unclear, Your purpose will begin to reveal itself. And once you find it, protect it. Guard it. Live it boldly. Because there will be voices that try to distract you, doubts that try to derail you, obstacles that try to block you. But if you're rooted in purpose, nothing can shake you. Purpose is stronger than fear. Purpose is stronger than failure. Purpose is stronger than rejection. Purpose is stronger than any storm life throws at you. Family, the choice to live with purpose is the choice to leave a legacy. It's the choice to make sure that when your time on this earth is done, people can say, they were here. They mattered. They gave, they loved, they inspired. That's what living with purpose is all about. So I challenge you. Don't waste your life drifting. Don't waste your time chasing things that don't matter. Decide today that you will live with purpose. Decide that you will give your best, love deeply, serve fully, and leave this world better than you found it. Because when you live with purpose, you don't just exist, you truly live.